Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Since our, childhood, infancy, we are taught to respect authority. And when we see someone with a title in front of his name, like a doctor or professor or prime minister or president or director or supervisor, manager or teacher, we are supposed to somehow, give them a pass, or at least give them some credibility. No, don't do that. Because in our world, it's not based on meritocracy necessarily. You figure that out by speaking with the person. So if someone comes and says, I'm Dr. Jim. Okay, I'm Dr. Jim. I don't believe that's a doctor, the first one. Second one, I would like to know what Dr. Jim knows how to do. And I want to find out from his clients or patients to find out if that Dr. Jim really knows what he's doing. I met a lot of doctors, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Now, if he's a PhD, that kind of doctor, again, oh yeah, very good. Now let's talk. And if you know something, you will be able to assess that doctor's knowledge, how much he knows about everything, not about his very narrow, how do I put it, piece of, how do you call that, expertise. Because being a PhD, usually it's getting narrow and narrow and narrow in that little field. No, that's good for them. My point is, you have enough information, you have enough knowledge, ask people questions, analyze them, and judge them. Definitely judge them. Why? Judging meaning assessing a person based on whatever that person does or, says. You have the right to say he's an idiot or he's a genius. That means judging, right? I judge he's an idiot. Yeah, because he's an idiot. Look what he said. I'm not supposed to judge? Next time when you go to buy something from a grocery store, do not judge the product. Just grab it. Don't judge it. Don't assess. Right, this is like this, looks like crap, but and it's very expensive. This looks beautiful, but it's cheap. Which should I get? I'm not gonna get this one that looks good and is cheap because I'm not judging. I love you. Let's go. I'm guaranteeing you don't do that. So the judging garbage is garbage. All right, let's put it this way. We have here the UK minister, who's the defense minister. He's Jewish. Just a coincidence. We have a defense minister in Great Britain who is Jewish. We have a Jewish president in Ukraine. We have a Jewish Secretary of State, Foreign Ministry of the United States of America. What the fuck is going on here? Nothing. Do not even try. Nothing. Just a coincidence. As Dave Chappelle said in his Saturday night show, maybe a year ago or something like this, or 2 years ago. If you have a group of he started with I don't know, he was not the Italians, but the blacks. There's a gang. If you have a bunch of Italians, that's mafia. If you have a group of Jews, just a coincidence. He said it. It's a joke. All right. So what this guy is saying, remember, he just became the defense minister. About what? A month ago, something like this, and he's all for Zelensky-Stein's Ukraine. So he tells us, based on this one example, he's the defense minister. That means he's got a title. You're supposed to shut the fuck up because you know stuff. Nah, I don't think so. Because this statement tells me that he's not a defense minister. He's a garbage defense minister. So let me show you. This article, Kiev Independent. He's, again, Dominic Culver-Well. 1 day ago, UK minister, destruction of Russian ship proves there's no stalemate in war. All right, here he is. This is the guy. If you don't believe me, his name is Grant Shapps. Right? Go and check him up. And if you want to find out, just go on early years and childhood. That's where you find who's who, what's what. Coincidences. Now, what these guys tell us that based on one event, there's no stalemate. So, General Zaluzny, he is a Ukrainian for real. He, in charge supposedly of the Ukrainian military, he said that the Ukraine war reached a level of stalemate. Zelensky-Stein, Shapps' buddy, came and said, no, that's not true. So a politician who actually is briefed by the military, whose guy in charge is Zaluzny, how do you call it, contradicted the guy that probably gave him the information. So the politician said, okay, no problem. Well, it's a stalemate. It's not a stalemate, it's a stalemate, whatever it is. This guy comes and tells us right here that it's not a stalemate because this one event proves that. Are you familiar with what happened, what this Shaps is talking about? All right, so let me tell you what happened if you don't remember or you don't know about it. I think it was yesterday, the Ukrainians were able to destroy one landing ship in Feodosia, in the Crimean Peninsula. Great achievement, I don't deny that. So that was in the east part of Crimean Peninsula, probably with a Storm Shadow missile. We don't know yet. They said yes, no, yes, boom, boom. So let me show you where Feodosia is. And it is right there in the Crimean Peninsula, which is in the south, right here. Feodosia is exactly and precisely here. Now, the Ukrainians destroyed that landing vessel from something from Zaporozhye. I've been briefed by Putin. Putin told me they launched it from there, they hit there, which tells me that this was a precise, perfect executed attack. That next one is going to be the Kerch Bridge right here, the Crimean Bridge, so-called. This is next. I guarantee you that. So the Ukrainians, NATO was capable to do that. And this guy says because of that one strike, there's no stalemate. So let me give you an analogy. Let's say we have Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman, Joe Frazier, George Foreman in Mobutu's whatever. Okay, so when they fought in Africa, I think it was 1974, George Foreman was in Zaire. They fought in Zaire because it's in Manila, three-line Manila was with Joe Frazier. Beautiful fights. So over there, Muhammad Ali tried to regain his title from George Foreman, who got it from Joe Frazier, and demolished Joe Frazier. Oh my God, it was bad. So anyway, they fought over there for 7 rounds, if I remember correctly. In the 7th round, Muhammad Ali knocked him down, knocked him out. I mean, he was not out, but he couldn't stand up and didn't make the count. So what happened? If you take the fight, it was, I would say, 7%, 70%, 80% George Foreman, just crazy, and 20%, maybe 30%, let's say, Muhammad Ali, 1-2, straight 1-2s, which is basic. So Muhammad Ali hit George Foreman with the basic 1-2. You don't do a straight pam-pam. You don't do that, but he did it. Boom. Anyway, so eventually he invents rope-a-dope because he just, how do you call it? Like a good organism, they adapt. So he adapted to the situation, and George Foreman got tired, and then eventually Muhammad Ali knocked him out. Now these guys, so the fight was going one way, which is George Foreman beating up Ali, and Ali punched from time to time. It was obviously these guys were, George Foreman was beating Ali. But Ali, with one punch, pop, 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 the guy fell, and that was it. So in 5 seconds, the whole game was over, even though the other guys were 70% Foreman versus Ali in the numbers and in the attack. So you can take, okay, let's say is George Foreman is Russia, let's say Muhammad Ali is Ukraine or NATO. It's not really like that. I think it's like more like 60-40. In our situation. But this guy says that because one shot, one vessel was blown up, so one punch, when Muhammad Ali was, rope-a-dope, he was punching one time, that was not a balanced fight. These guys were beating the other guy. Foreman was beating Muhammad Ali. And this idiot says, because from time to time, Muhammad Ali was punching one or doing something, you see, it's still a fight. It was not still a fight. Now you can claim, that's why I gave you this example, you can claim, yes, Samuel, but in the end, see, He was being beaten, but eventually he knocked him out. Yeah, I'm not denying that that could happen, but that over there was not an equal fight. That's my point. It was not an equal fight. It doesn't mean that Ukraine cannot do something fantastically, or not Ukraine, NATO. You know, I don't think it's impossible. But this guy comes and says because of that one incident, it's not a stalemate. You know what a stalemate is? I hit here, and then you hit here. I hit here, you hit here. Nothing moves. The front stays over there. Now, how is it, not a stalemate because of that example? I can tell you it's not a stalemate. I tell you why. Because the Russians are advancing. But this guy says no, because the Ukrainians hit that. That's why it's not a stalemate. The idiot could have used this one, this chaps. He should have used this argument. It's not a stalemate because the Russians just took Marinka. And they're about to take Avdiivka. They're about to take what? North in not Kherson. What the fuck is always Kherson? And the other one is fucking Kharkov. So the other one is Kupiansk. So there's at least three sides. Marinka is gone. Avdiivka is going to be gone. Let me show you. And then it's going to be Kupiansk. Here is Kupiansk. Right here in Kharkiv or Kharkov Oblast. Right here, Kupiansk is bad. These guys are advancing. Now the other one is this one right here. This is Liman. Krasny Liman. Right here is this, and right here is this. And then you got Avdiivka right here. And then you got Marinka that's gone right here. So yes, if this chaps, the Minister of Defense or Secretary of Defense would have said it's not because the Ukrainians are advancing, I would understand. I would say, yeah, you're right. But no, he says because that guy in the middle of being punched one, that means the guy is still in the fight. No, Muhammad Ali was not still in the fight at that point if you were looking at the fight live. Now that we know what happened and you look at it, you say, oh my God, he gets a beating. But eventually he didn't. Is that the beginning of the end of the Russian Federation because that one missile? I don't think so. I know that the Kerch Bridge will be blown up. I know people don't like me saying that, but we're gonna talk about it later when that will happen. So my friends, this is the idiot Shaps, and I maintain my assessment of him and my judgment that he is just a political hack. And he got over there where he's at because some doors were opened to him because he's part of the club. I can say the tribe, but I will use the club. You know what I mean. Anyway, my friends, here it is. The December 26th missile strike targeted the port of town of Feodosia in occupied Crimea. Ukraine Air Force Command, Now right here, so you don't think I'm making up shit. UK Defense Minister Grant Shapps said on December 26 that Ukraine's recent attack, one strike, goddammit, on a Russian ship in the Black Sea proves, that little thing proves that there is no stalemate in the war. If the Ukrainians would have advanced 1 or 2, 3 miles here and there, and conquer 1 or 3 or 4 settlements, then maybe Shapps could have opened his beak and say something. But like this, it's unbelievable. So this is the defense minister of the United Kingdom. Idiot? I think so. What's up, buddy? Can I wake you up? All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.